You're out. Now.
No, please!
The heavy iron gates slammed shut, but not before Segu threw Eniola violently into the dusty street. Witch! You think you can trap me with a pregnancy? You are nothing but a dirty village girl. His voice echoed, loud enough for all the wealthy neighbors to snare. Eniola sat, trembling in the dirt, clutching her stomach. Just weeks ago, this same man had held her and promised her the world. He bought her trust with sweet words only to steal her innocence and her family's land. Broken and pregnant, she walked 3 agonizing days back home only to find her paralyzed mother dead from the shock of his betrayal. Standing over the fresh grave, Eniola tied a black cloth to her wrist and whispered a devastating curse to the heavens.
As you cut the thread of her life, may the heavens cut your lineage. No child shall ever call you father.
Segun thought he had buried his secret forever. But 12 years later, an incurable agony would force the arrogant billionaire to his knees, begging for his life at the feet of the very queen he once threw away. Before we dive into today's story, welcome to VK Folktale Studio. This is a place where stories come alive. Here, every story has a lesson, and every moment carries meaning. Do well to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you never miss a story. Now, let's begin. There are people born with a veil over their destiny. No matter how hard they work, the sun refuses to shine on their field. This is the story of Eniola, a woman dipped in indigo from birth, whose tears could have raised a river.
The river flows, the dye stains deep. The morning comes while the sorrow sleeps.
Yagba, I brought you water.
Eniola's hands were the color of her fight. A fight to save the only family she had left.
Eniola, my child, the sun has set and you are still beating the cloth. You will break your back for an old woman.
Yagba, I don't mind. Mama, do not speak like that. The cloth is almost done. Tomorrow I will sell it and buy the soft yam you like.
I am a burden to you. 6 months I have laid on this mat. The stroke stole my legs, but it should have taken me.
Never say that. You taught me the art of adire. You gave me these hands. We will survive this. Babaleke is coming today.
I have checked her pulse, Eniola. The sickness is sinking deeper into her bones. The leaves I brought last week are no longer enough.
Then bring the stronger medicine, Baba. Please. I am tying a new batch of ocean blue adire. It will sell fast at the market.
The roots for the strong medicine are deep in the forbidden forest. It is dangerous to harvest. I have done what I can for free.
Baba, wait. You know I have sold everything. Even my father's land. Give me 1 more week, I beg of you.
If you cannot pay me, I cannot bring the medicine. May the ancestors keep her alive until you find the money.
Eniola! Eniola! Drop that mallet right now. Come outside, my daughter. There is big news. Mama boss, why are you shouting? You wake Yad, but what's you waving like a flag? The village festa is today. You have to come.
Today, I have so much cleaning to do.
Oh, leave that. Everyone will be there. It's going to be so much fun. Okeodan Town. A cultural exhibition. They are looking for the best traditional fabrics. And Eniola, the price is 500,000 naira. 500,000? Mama Bose, that is enough to pay Babaleki for a year. That is enough to buy a wheelchair for my mother. Give me the paper, let me see. A festa today.
Exactly. No one in Ilaji makes Ajire like you. Wrap your finest piece and get on the next minibus. Go and claim your destiny.
Eniola did not hesitate. She wrapped her masterpiece, an adire the color of the deep ocean, and traveled hours to the city of Okeodan. The hall was bright, filled with wealth she had never seen. But when she unfolded her cloth, the blue seemed to glow in the room.
Incredible. The raffia knots are flawless. The indigo is rich. I have not seen authentic, soulful work like this since my childhood.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 500,000 Naira prize goes to Madam Coker from Lagos.
This factory print is the future. It looks like adire, but we can make 1,000 pieces a day for export.
Eniola felt the floor fall away. Authentic art had lost to a cheap, lifeless machine. She walked outside to an alleyway that smelled of broken things. She sat on a crate, and the heavy tears finally came.
Excuse me. Excuse me. A woman with hands that create magic should not be sitting by a gutter crying.
Who are you? Please, leave me alone. The competition is over. The machines won. There is nothing left for me here.
My name is Segun. I own a textile company in Ibadan. Those judges are fools. The cloth in your hands is worth more than everything in that hall.
You really think so? I tied every knot myself. But it wasn't enough. It's never enough. And my mother is dying.
I am so sorry about your mother. Here, 50,000 Naira. Take it. Consider it a small advance payment for future work with me.
50,000? But I have not worked for you yet. Why are you helping a stranger?
Because I believe in preserving our true culture. And I believe in you, Eniola. Pay for your mother's medicine. We will talk business later.
It would pay the herbalist. It would buy food. He seemed safe. She took the money. She could not know she had just made a deal with the devil. Sometimes the worst wolves come wearing the softest wool. When a strange thing enters a quiet village, the whole village talks. And so it was when the big black car arrived in Ilaji.
Look, a big car! It's stopping at Eniola's house. Wow, so shiny.
Out stepped Segun. He carried heavy bags of expensive gifts and wore a smile as wide as a politician's promise.
Eniola, I told you I would find you. May I come inside and greet the elders of your house?
Segun, you came. Yes, come in and greet them.
Good afternoon, Mama. My name is Segun. Your daughter has a rare, beautiful gift. I want to help her share it with the world.
You speak sweet words, stranger. But I have lived long enough to know that not every smile is friendly. What kind of help?
This is just the beginning, Mama. I will pay her very well to make adire for my company. I will be a partner, not a master.
Eniola's eyes were shining. It was the look of someone finally seeing a door open after being trapped in a dark room.
It is good you see value in her hands. But the city is far. Young women must be careful with men who bring big promises.
Mama, I understand your fear. I swear to you, I will not take her away from you. She's a good woman and she's really talented.
Over the following weeks, Segun returned with food, medicine, and cement. The neighbors began to call him the savior of Eniola's house. But Iyagba watched. She noticed the way he looked at Eniola not as a businessman, but as a hunter looks at a deer.
My daughter, put the spoon down. Come closer. We must speak about this man from Ibadan. It is important for our family.
When a river looks too calm, there might be a crocodile hiding under the water. Do not let his expensive gifts blind your eyes.
Mama, stop worrying. Segun has been nothing but kind. He fixed our roof. Maybe God finally heard our prayers after all our suffering.
Promise me one thing. If he ever asks you to leave Ilaji, be very careful. Do not stay long in his city. 3 days in the city is enough for a wise bird to find its nest. Do not stay until your feathers turn black.
Mama, buyers from Lagos are demanding Eniola's work. It is time she visits Ibadan. Just for a few weeks, to see the factory.
She will stay safely in my guest house. And she will return with enough money to finally take you to a proper hospital.
Iya Agba's face hardened. She was silent for a long time, the weight of the moment pressing heavily on the room. Then she spoke.
Before she goes anywhere, there must be an introduction. In our tradition, a man does not take a woman from her family without witnesses. You must state your intentions. This tells the ancestors that you take responsibility for her safety.
But of course, Mama, I respect the culture of Ilaji deeply. We will hold the ceremony tomorrow.
The ceremony was held in the yard. Yams, gin, and money. The village elders poured libations and blessed the arrangement.
Hear me, man from Ibadan. If anything happens to our daughter, this entire village will hold you responsible. The ancestors are watching.
I give you my word. She is safe with me.
I will be back soon, Mama. I promise. I will bring back enough money to make you well again.
Go with God. But remember my words, Eniola. Do not stay until your feathers turn black.
Go well, our star. Bring back the city money, oh. May the road be smooth for you.
Remember, boss, I will.
Bless you, my child. Safe journey.
Bye. Safe journey.
Iya Agba watched from the doorway until the car was nothing but a tiny dot. Then she closed her eyes and prayed. Badon was not like anything Eniola had ever imagined. Noise instead of bird song, smoke instead of fresh earth. But the mansion, 2 floors of pristine white with a dancing fountain, felt like a dream to a girl who grew up in dust.
Welcome to your new life, Eniola. No more suffering. No more watching your mother fade away in the dark.
It is beautiful, sir. But I cannot stop thinking of my mother lying on her thin mat. I want to send money to her immediately.
Already done. I sent a courier this morning. You just focus on resting, eating well, and learning the business.
The weeks that followed were beautiful and blinding. He bought her clothes, he took her to fine restaurants. Slowly, without noticing, she fell in love. One evening, the line between boss and worker disappeared completely.
Eniola, I did not just bring you here for your talent. I brought you here because I could not stop thinking about you.
Segun, I feel the same way.
I think I am falling in love with you.
She believed she would become Mrs. Segun. She believed it for 3 more weeks. Then, the morning sickness began.
Segun, I'm pregnant.
What? Let me see.
The change on Segun's face was something Eniola would never
You think
forget.
I brought you here to breed with a village girl? You have made a massive problem for me.
But I don't understand. You said you loved me. You said I was going to be your wife.
I said what I needed to say to keep you walking.
I am engaged to Ronke, the daughter of the director of customs. That is power. You are nothing.
This is not a mistake. It is our child. Please, Segun, just let me go back to Ilaji. I will have the baby there. Let me go home.
If Ronke finds out, my empire crumbles. You are not going anywhere until I decide what to do with you, you stupid village girl.
The next day, 2 security guards marched her out. At the gate, Segun raised his voice so the wealthy neighbors could hear.
This woman is a witch! She tried to trap me with charms and a fake pregnancy! I am a God-fearing man. I will not be dragged down by her!
The gate slammed shut. Eniola stood alone. No money, no phone. It took her 3 days to reach Ilaji. She walked most of the way, sleeping by the roadside. When she saw the red dirt, she wept. When she entered the house, Iyagba was lying exactly as she had left her. Her sharp eyes swept over her daughter's torn clothes and the small curve of her belly. Iyagba said nothing. She simply opened her thin, frail arms. Eniola fell into them, sobbing like a child.
I don't know how I will feed you, but you are mine, and you will live.
The next morning, the cocoon shattered. Segun's brothers arrived.
Eniola, stop what you're doing. We need to talk, now.
What do you want?
You know why we're here.
We have come to collect what belongs to our family. You tried to trap our brother. Return introduction money, 100,000 naira.
100,000? I don't have that kind of money. We have nothing left.
Then we will take something else. Your father's cocoa farm. Sign this paper, or we bring the police to lock you up for witchcraft.
No, you cannot take the farm. It is all we have left of my father. My mother is sick. Please have mercy.
Mercy? Did you show mercy when you tried to ruin our brother?
With no choice, Eniola signed away her ancestors' land.
My daughter, I am so sorry.
Mama, please don't leave me.
I love you.
The old woman who had survived poverty and sickness met the one thing she could not survive, a broken heart. The funeral was quick. After everyone left, Eniola stood over the grave, holding a strip of black adiri cloth, darker than a starless sky.
Segun, you took my body. You took my trust. You took my father's land. And now you have taken my mother.
As you cut the thread of her life, may the heavens cut your lineage. No child shall ever call you father.
No woman shall give you peace. Your name shall be a curse on your lips. Everything you built on my pain shall crumble to dust.
The curse was sealed. She tied the black cloth to her wrist, a reminder, a silent promise, a curse waiting to bloom. Somewhere in Ibadan, Segun slept peacefully, not knowing the words of a broken woman had already begun to destroy his destiny. While Eniola was walking barefoot on hot roads, Segun was sitting in a different kind of heat. Ronke, the woman he was to marry, was the daughter of the director of customs. She did not love Segun.
I don't care why you are marrying me, Segun. Just don't embarrass my family's name.
Segun nodded, but inside, he was burning. 3 days later, the brothers returned. The room was dark. the single lamp catching the sharp angles of Segun's face.
What is it? Why are you both standing there like you have seen a ghost?
The old woman, the mother, she died while we were there. The shock, the shouting. When we left, the wailing had already started.
Segun said nothing. For a brief moment, something stirred in his chest, a shadow of the man he might have been.
She was sick anyway. She would have died sooner or later. We just accelerated the process.
The brothers exchanged a glance, a silent recognition that Segun had crossed a line from which there was no return.
Segun, what is wrong with you? You look like a man who has not slept in a week.
I'm just tired, Mama.
Tired? This is more than tired. Talk to me.
She did not press him. She simply waited, as mothers do, until the silence grew too heavy for him to bear.
The woman in Ilaji, the Adire maker, her mother is dead.
The one you did the introduction for. Tell me the truth, Segun. Had death have anything to do with your brothers collecting that land?
Segun did not answer. The silence was answer enough.
You can acquire land and power, my son. But you cannot acquire peace with a guilty hand. The ancestors see what men hide.
Mama, please. This is just business. You are being superstitious.
If the tears of the innocent fall on your head, they will not dry quickly. One day you will feel it.
Segun stood alone in the silence. But as he raised the glass, he felt a strange, sharp twinge in his stomach. A fleeting pain, like a needle slipping into a nerve. He dismissed it. Bad food, anxiety, nothing more. But that night he dreamed. He dreamed of red dust and a woman with blue hands, her mouth moving in words he could not hear. When he woke, his stomach was burning again, a dull, persistent ache that would not leave him for 12 years. The curse had taken root. Time is a strange thing. To some, a healer. To others, a mirror showing the same wounds. 12 years had passed, and the world had turned upside down. The woman behind the desk was Eniola, but not the girl with dusty feet. This Eniola had the calm confidence of someone who had walked through fire and become gold. Known across Nigeria as the Queen of Fabrics, she employed hundreds of women. She gave them dignity. She had become everything Segun pretended to be. After her mother's death, she walked away with nothing. In Abeokuta, a retired textile engineer named Madame Comfort found her starving at a motor park and took her in. Madame Comfort gave her cloth. Eniola's fingers remembered what her heart tried to forget. She tied patterns that spoke the ancient language of her foremothers. When her son was born, she named him Ayodeji, the one who brings joy. She worked through the pain, building an empire from the ashes of her broken heart. But every day, the faded black cloth on her wrist reminded her the universe was saving the final act. Then her phone rang.
My queen, I am bringing someone to the house this evening. An old acquaintance. I think you will want to see him.
An old acquaintance. All right, I'll be ready.
A strange feeling settled in her stomach. Something was coming. Across the city, Segun's mansion felt like a museum where no one laughed. His business was failing. His debts were piling up. 12 years of marriage to Ronke and no children. The marriage had curdled into bitterness. They were married, but they were entirely strangers. Then the pain started. A sharp, burning ache in his stomach that no doctor could diagnose. The painkillers did nothing. He was dying.
I see a village. Red dirt roads. A woman with blue hands. She is crying over a grave holding a black... No, it can't be. It is the truth.
She is speaking words that went up to heaven and did not come back empty. I see a curse tied to your stomach, tied to your seed. If the woman you wrong does not release you, you will die. You know who she is. Eniola. It is Eniola.
The next day, Segun arrived, no longer confident, but twisted by pain. He was led into a living room where Eniola stood by the window. The great businessman, the man who had thrown her out like garbage, now crumpled at her feet, weeping.
Eniola, please. I destroyed your life. I caused your mother's death. I have no excuse, but I am dying. The prophet said only you can lift the curse.
You ask for your life. Do you remember the rain, Segun? Do you remember the gate slamming shut while I carried your child?
Mama, who is this man on the floor? Why is he crying so much? Should we help him?
Is he my son?
He is my son, Otunba Bode's son. That is all you will ever need to know.
Your mother will decide what is right, Ayodeji. Sometimes the greatest power we have is the power to forgive, even when it is not deserved.
Eniola picked up a glass of water. She held it in her blue-stained hands and closed her eyes.
I do not forgive you because you deserve it. I forgive you because I am no longer the broken girl from Ilaji.
The pain, it is gone. Thank you. Thank you, Eniola.
Now leave my house and never return. You have your health, but you will never have a legacy. That is the price of your choices. Live with it.
Segun looked at the boy who would never know his name, then walked out the gate, closed behind him forever. Eniola untied the black cloth that had been around her wrist for 12 years. She folded it and put it away. Eniola did not let her pain define her. She let it refine her. The man who tried to drown her walked the earth without a legacy. The curse you speak in anger may find its mark, but the blessing you speak on yourself in hope will always find its way home.